Hello, everybody. Welcome to Partners in Conversation. We have Lieutenant Dawn Westerfield from the Gary Police Department. Welcome, Lieutenant Westerfield.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It is wonderful that you could join us. So let's go ahead and let's get started with the series on race, police, and the community. And it is my understanding that you're a specialist on community relations. So I titled this presentation, Police Community Relations on Purpose. Just to give our listeners a bit of background, we are focusing on the current situation following the killing of George Floyd, who died during an arrest in Minneapolis. And following the incident, there have been large crowds of protesters, not just in Minneapolis where it happened, but everywhere across the United States and many other countries. And this has been going on for several days. So we want to discuss with you, Lieutenant Westerfield, the current situation. And here are our questions. So first of all, tell us about yourself, just a little bit about what led you to pursue a career in policing.
I am 44 years old. I'm a Gary native. I'm a mom of 4 beautiful girls, but I've raised quite a few more. And I was raised in a family that was very heavy into community service. And actually in school, I was on track for accounting. That was supposed to be my career. And I realized that it not only bored me, but I wanted to help people outside of their checkbooks. I wanted to help people with their lives, people that couldn't defend themselves, and see if we couldn't make things a little bit better. So I went into policing 19 years ago.
Wow, that seems amazing. So what is your perspective on the current scenario and the unrest that demands action against police brutality?
I think that if you are outraged by what is going on, but you were not outraged by the catalyst behind it, that you need to check your privilege. People have tried for years with passive protest and everything else, and it just didn't seem to be working. While I don't want to see anyone lose their business, I don't want to see rioting and people being harmed, people need to be heard because this truly is going on nationwide. And even though it's a small percentage, it's just not allowable.
Absolutely. Lieutenant Westerfield, do you think there is a problem with the police culture, or do you think this is rather the result of having a few bad apples in the police forces?
I think there's a problem with criminal justice culture from top to bottom. I truly do. Minorities, people of color are overly sentenced, overly processed, and given expectations that they could never meet. While it is very few police officers in this job, you can't tell me that somebody at that man's workplace didn't see this coming. And he should have been dealt with far before this. Officers need to get away from backing each other 100% when it's a situation like this. Loyalty is great, but honor comes first. And there is nothing honorable about these types of situations. And someone should have stepped in and stopped it.
This is really comforting to hear from a person such as yourself with such an important position in the community. What do you think we should do to improve community police relations in the United States?
We have to have hard conversations. People tend to skirt around the hard stuff. We'll talk about it just a little bit until it gets slightly uncomfortable, and then we back off. Well, if you stay in your comfort zone, you can't change. So we truly need to be having uncomfortable conversations amongst ourselves as police officers, with our community, we have to be open to hearing, this was my experience, and this is why I don't care for your police department. If we're not open to hear that, then we're not open to make change. And that is what we're trying to do. We are trying to make change.
Excellent. Do you think the Indiana University Northwest could do something to contribute to the change in the culture and promote integration and equity in our community? And if we can do something, what do you think we can do?
I think fostering conversations like this, even being a safe meeting ground. The public doesn't always want to come to the police department. That's the police officer's home turf, and that might not be comfortable for them. But if Indiana University is willing to help foster conversations like this, maybe be the mediator, the meeting ground, I think we can do much more to connect the police department with the community.
Okay, so I hear this is a great place to start.
Yes.
The conversation. I'm glad that we decided to do this interview. Is there anything else that you want to add, maybe a suggestion or anything that comes to mind?
I want to say that the Gary Police Department did start making changes of this nature back in 2016. We did a correlation with the Department of Justice and John Jay College and went through procedural justice training to address implicit bias. Mm-hmm. And some people were really shocked by the fact that they did have bias, and anybody can have bias, but addressing it and learning to work through it. And that became the standard now, and all of our officers have it. They actually teach it at the academy up here, which I think is a beautiful start. Mm-hmm. I would like to see more people, more minorities, more women, especially in law enforcement. I know that sometimes families don't want to see their women in law enforcement because it's such a male-dominated job. But we have a place here, and we really can make a difference.
It sounds great. These are great suggestions, and I'm sure that we can take them into consideration. Well, Lieutenant Westerfield, thank you so much for joining the conversation, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. I truly appreciate it.